Imagine this. A player who just stepped onto an NFL field could, in just a few years, sign a contract that shakes the entire league. That's exactly what's happening with Nate Wiggins, the young cornerback for the Ravens. He's already shown he's not here to play around, and the numbers from his rookie season make it clear we're talking about someone with the potential to dominate the position. But what's really exciting isn't just what he's done so far, it's what he could become. Could Wiggins really become the highest-paid cornerback in the NFL? And how will the Ravens handle this rising star while still balancing the rest of the roster? Stick with me, because we're diving deep into every detail of this story and why Nate Wiggins is about to change the future of Baltimore's defense. Now, think about this. We're talking about a rookie who just got his first taste of the NFL, and already people are saying he'll set the market for his position in a few years. That's exactly what Seth Walder from ESPN predicted about Nate Wiggins. He believes that after just 3 seasons, Wiggins will sign a deal that won't just be massive. It will reset the bar for cornerbacks across the league. In other words, this guy is going to be the highest paid at a position. Pretty intense, right? And the thing is, Walder doesn't make this kind of prediction without strong reasons. The point is, what Wiggins has shown in such a short time proves he's not just another talented young player. He's already turned heads, enough for analysts to bet on a historic future. That kind of recognition brings pressure, sure, but it also shows how quickly perceptions can change. From a rookie with questions about his size to a player commanding respect across the league, the shift has been massive. And when respect like this comes early, you know something special is happening. It's fascinating how these predictions shape the narrative. Not long ago, Ravens fans saw Wiggins as a risky pick. After all, trusting a lighter corner to handle the NFL's most physical wideouts isn't easy. Now the conversation has flipped. Risk? Gone. Now it's all about a potential multi-million-dollar contract. That's a huge turn, and it doesn't happen by accident. The entire league starts paying attention when a young defender shows elite signs so quickly. And here's another key detail. Walder highlighted the 3-season timeline. That means if Wiggins stays on his current path, he won't need long to prove he could be among the NFL's best. He's already shown consistency, immediate impact, and that opens the door for the hype to keep building. In other words, the Ravens didn't just find talent. They might have discovered a player who could redefine the franchise's defense for years to come. Of course, every prediction needs backing, and in Wiggins' case, his rookie season numbers speak for themselves. They don't just justify the excitement. They prove the kid arrived ready to shine. And that's where the story gets even more interesting. His first-year results were anything but ordinary. If anyone doubted Nate Wiggins' potential, his rookie season quickly erased that. Drafted 30th overall in 2024, he arrived with questions surrounding him, but he proved ready to take on the NFL fast. In just 1 year, he racked up 33 tackles, 1 interception, 13 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, and even a touchdown. For a rookie expected to be a long-term project, that's way beyond expectations. He didn't just adapt quickly, he delivered when it mattered most. What stands out even more is his consistency. Rookie cornerbacks usually get tested constantly, and they're often targeted to see if they can handle the speed and physicality of NFL receivers. Wiggins? Not a single touchdown allowed when he was a direct target. That's extraordinary for a newcomer. It shows discipline, game awareness, and a confidence rarely seen in a rookie. It's like he arrived ready to face any wide receiver, regardless of size or experience. This kind of immediate impact changes how a team views a player. What was once just a promising rookie is now seen as a defensive cornerstone. It's not just about stats, it's about presence. Wiggins brought stability to the secondary, showed maturity, and played like someone who understands the weight of wearing a Ravens jersey. And that makes a huge difference because Baltimore's defense has always been defined by players who bring intensity and confidence. Seeing a rookie fit so seamlessly into that identity is exciting for any fan. Remember, the Ravens didn't pick Wiggins by accident. They knew his raw talent, his speed, and his growth potential. What even the team might not have expected was how fast he would adjust. Instead of needing time to find his footing, he came performing at a high level immediately, and that has a ripple effect. The league is taking notice, and opposing offenses know they'll face more challenges when targeting him. And as we all know, football isn't just about what you see on the field. The even more fascinating part of the story, advanced stats. And it's there that Wiggins showed elite numbers, proving his impact went far beyond the eye test. Looking at these numbers, it's easy to see why people are already talking about him as a future holder of a record-setting contract. If his basic stats impress, Wiggins' advanced numbers make it crystal clear why he's being taken so seriously. According to Next Gen Stats, he allowed just 0.9 yards per coverage snap, a number that puts him above the league average in his rookie year. For those not used to this data, it basically means every time a receiver tried to attack his side, he made them work for every inch. He left almost no space to operate. It gets crazier. His EPA allowed? -28. Translation: when quarterbacks threw his way, offenses were at a disadvantage because he neutralized the play entirely. And get this, that was the best number among all outside cornerbacks in the NFL. Rarely do you see a rookie dominate complex stats like this, especially a position where one slip can cost a touchdown. It proves it wasn't just fan hype or he looks good on TV. The numbers confirm he was dominant. These stats are crucial because they remove any doubt that the hype is overblown. Sure, rookies sometimes make a few plays and fans get excited, but Wiggins is the opposite. Every data point reinforces that he's special. This explains why analysts like Seth Walder feel confident predicting he'll be at the top of the NFL's pay scale in just 3 years. Everything points in that direction. Here's another key factor. When a player posts numbers as strong so early, it forces opposing offenses to adjust their game plans. Teams often avoid targeting his side because they know success rates are low. That alone increases Wiggins' value. A corner who shuts down half the field isn't just good, he's elite. And that's exactly what Baltimore needs to keep a respected defense, even in a league increasingly dominated by offenses. But it wasn't all smooth sailing at first. When the Ravens invested in Wiggins, many questioned if his body could withstand the league's biggest receivers. Talent was there, but would his frame hold up? And that's where the most interesting part comes in. The work he did off the field to transform his body and silence the doubters once and for all. When Baltimore used the 30th overall pick in the 2024 draft on Nate Wiggins, eyebrows were raised. Not over talent, that was never in question, but over his frame. At the Combine, he weighed just 173 pounds, and even at the pro day, he hit 182, still considered light for an NFL cornerback. Facing big, strong receivers who use their bodies as weapons, Wiggins' weight seemed like a real concern. That's why analysts called him a risky pick, even while acknowledging the absurd potential he carried. This isn't new for lighter players. The NFL is a physical league, and every year we see receivers who are both fast and strong, capable of winning routes with speed and contact. The concern was legitimate. Could Wiggins handle elite receivers without getting overpowered? Speed and instincts aren't enough if a player gets pushed off routes or dominated physically. The Ravens knew this risk, but it was calculated. The rest of his package was too special to pass up, and Wiggins didn't shy away from the challenge. From the start, he understood the physical question and knew he had to evolve to stick in the NFL. This separates great talents from mere prospects. Mindset. Instead of leaning only on what he already did well, his speed and tight coverage, he confronted his weakness head-on. This shows who he is as a competitor. He didn't settle. He worked to turn a vulnerability into something manageable. And that's what makes his story so exciting. Wiggins arrived as a high-upside gamble and proved he's not afraid to make the adjustments needed to grow. The Ravens have always valued players with a work-first mentality, willing to adapt to what the team needs. Seeing a rookie embrace it so early is a clear sign he's here not just to participate, but to dominate. It was during this last offseason that he took the biggest step in this transformation. And when you see what Wiggins did to reshape his body and prepare for the NFL level, the excitement for his future only grows.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Nate Wiggins knew that to take the next step in the NFL, relying on just his speed and natural coverage skills wouldn't be enough. He needed to strengthen his body, build more physical presence, but without losing what made him special, his explosiveness and agility. And that's exactly what he did this past offseason. According to Jeff Zrebiec of The Athletic, Wiggins added about 10 pounds of muscle. That might seem small from the outside, but in the NFL, it makes all the difference. Every extra pound, when properly trained, boosts your ability to contest balls, withstand contact, and command respect against bigger receivers. This muscle gain wasn't about aesthetics or just adding weight. It was a strategic transformation aimed at taking his game to the next level. Wiggins knew he needed more strength to stay competitive against any type of opponent, and the discipline it took to do that says a lot about his mindset. Not every young player has a drive to take on the responsibility of reshaping their body this early in their career. It shows dedication, professionalism, and most importantly, a hunger to become a star in the league. He's not just trying to survive in the NFL, he wants to stand out. What's most exciting is that he might have kept his speed even with the added muscle. If that's true, Wiggins now has the perfect combination: the strength to handle more physical receivers and the speed to stay with anyone on deep routes. That balance is rare, and when it appears, we're usually talking about players who become elite at their position. That's why so many people are already treating Wiggins' off-season transformation as a game-changer in his career. This transformation also resonates inside the locker room. Veteran players notice this kind of growth and see not just talent, but commitment. The Ravens have always valued athletes who show a strong desire to improve, and Wiggins proved he's willing to do whatever it takes. He's shaping himself to be more than just a good cornerback. He's aiming to be a potential star, someone who could anchor Baltimore's defense for years to come. And the best part? He's not going through this alone. The Ravens have built a perfect environment around him to accelerate his growth. When you look at who will be alongside Wiggins on the field, it's clear he has all the support he needs to take an even bigger leap in his second season. When we talk about a young cornerback's development, you can't just look at individual talent. The environment around a player makes all the difference, and in this case, Nate Wiggins is in an almost ideal situation. Baltimore has a tradition of developing physical, smart defenses, and what the Ravens have set up for this season only amplifies his growth. Marlon Humphrey, one of the most respected names in the secondary, is moving back to his natural slot position, providing stability to the group and freeing Wiggins to continue growing as the top outside corner. As if that wasn't enough, the front office added a huge boost: Jaire Alexander, one of the league's most experienced and talented cornerbacks. Having a player of that caliber nearby isn't just an advantage on the field, it's a daily learning opportunity. Wiggins can watch closely how an elite veteran prepares, reads offenses, and positions himself in crucial moments. That kind of mentorship accelerates any young player's maturation because practice and routines become a constant classroom. This environment creates a kind of protective bubble for Wiggins. He doesn't have to carry the entire secondary's weight alone, which could overwhelm a young player. Instead, he can evolve naturally, knowing Humphrey and Alexander share the load. That reduces pressure and boosts confidence, two essentials for a cornerback. In this position, confidence is everything. One bad play can shake your mindset, but with veteran support and a solid defense around him, Wiggins has the security to grow fearlessly. Don't forget the Ravens' defensive scheme, designed to highlight aggressive, smart players. If Wiggins already proved he could be that type of athlete in his first year, now he has a system even more tailored to his skills and teammates that elevate the group's level. Everything points to a second season that could be even more explosive than the first. And if that happens, the hype surrounding his future contract is only going to skyrocket. Looking at the bigger picture, it's hard not to imagine Wiggins making the leap to become one of the NFL's best corners in a short time. And that evolution brings an inevitable consequence. The Ravens will have to start planning for another massive contract in the team's future. Every time a young player explodes in the NFL, one question inevitably arises: how will the team handle his contract? In Nate Wiggins' case, this question could come sooner than many expect. If he continues on this growth curve, the Baltimore Ravens will soon face the reality that their promising cornerback isn't just another name on a roster. He could become the highest paid player at his position in the league. That's exciting, of course, because it means the team nailed its draft pick, but it also creates a huge financial challenge. The Ravens are used to managing big contracts. Maintaining an elite roster in the NFL with a tight salary cap isn't easy. But here's the thing. Wiggins won't be the only young player hitting the doorstep for an extension. The team has multiple talented young pieces who will demand significant investments in the coming years. Juggling all these key negotiations forces the front office to be strategic, balancing salaries to avoid losing depth. In other words, if Wiggins reaches the expected level, Baltimore will have to make tough decisions to keep everyone. And that's the weight of his talent. When a player has the potential to redefine a franchise's defense, he's no longer just a contract. He becomes a priority. Wiggins has everything to be that kind of player. Someone who can lock down one side of the field, intimidate quarterbacks, and give the defense a clear identity. Players like this are rare, and teams willing to let that talent go are practically non-existent. In short, if he reaches that point, the Ravens will pay whatever it takes to keep him, even if it means adjustments elsewhere in the roster. This scenario, in the end, is the best kind of problem for a franchise. It means they found a special talent, a player who can make history and become a cornerstone of the next generation in Baltimore. What started as concerns over his body and adaptation has now become a conversation about historic contracts. Wiggins has already changed the discussion around his name and put the Ravens on track for a future that could be even brighter than the present. And one thing is certain, this story is just getting started. What Wiggins has shown so far is only the first chapter in a journey that promises to redefine the Ravens' defense for years to come. Nate Wiggins has already proven he has the talent, intelligence, and dedication to become an NFL star. From his immediate impact as a rookie to his physical and technical growth. And with the perfect environment the Ravens have built around him, it's clear we're looking at a player who could redefine the secondary and set the pace at his position for years to come. Every step he takes reinforces that Baltimore made a smart choice, and the team's defensive future could be even more dominant. And you, Ravens fan, do you think Wiggins has what it takes to become the most dominant corner in the league and earn a historic contract? How do you see his impact shaping Baltimore's defense in the coming years? One thing is certain. Wiggins' talent and potential aren't just promises. They're actively shaping the Baltimore Ravens' future. Every game he plays from here on out will be crucial to showing that this franchise is building a defense capable of shaking the entire NFL.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.